Hi there, I'm Mike Greer, project management consultant, author, and trainer. I've written 5 books on project management, and I maintain the website Michael Greer's Project Management Resources, as well as the Inspired Project Teams blog and podcast. And I'm here today to tell you about the Inspired Project Teams workshop. It's a completely new thing for me. For more than 20 years, I've been teaching a workshop called Project Management Basics, it's a hands-on workshop for new project managers and part-time project managers, and people that are basically didn't duck fast enough at that first meeting of the project team and got elected project manager. Here's what I'm trying to do with the Inspired Project Teams workshop is really what I consider a little bit revolutionary. What we're trying to do is stick with the nuts and bolts, and at the same time, through the use of a whole bunch of interesting exercises and activities that are homegrown, drawn from what you do in your organization, we're trying to connect and clear out all that junk that builds up in project teams, the political stuff, the competitive stuff, the different visions and values that have to be welded together in order for you to have a project work team that works. So we try to get at that in the project management, the Inspired Project Teams workshop, by covering in almost a back and forth way a little bit of background and tools, a little bit of team building exercises, a little bit of hands-on stuff that is very, very practical, and so forth. So what I'm going to do is review this real quickly with you, and then encourage you to get the PDF file, which is available with all the details in it. 2 versions, a 1-pager or a 6-pager with excruciating detail that you might like. So first, what we go through in project management skills and tools is related to the fundamental terms, visions, values, concepts, the professional perspective that comes from the field of project management. Okay, so definitions and terms and concepts, but not just to be able to parrot them back, but so you can tell in your heart what it is that same set of professional values you can carry with you, so that your discipline derives from the fact that, doggone it, this is a project, and a project is finite, and I know by definition that a project has to be over and that its budget is limited, and therefore we're going to keep driving, that kind of thing, driving for sign-offs. Okay, it's the way many visions and values that professional project managers use related to work breakdown structure and certain scheduling techniques and identifying resources, and when do you use a project charter, how do you use sign-offs, and that sort of thing. Now on the team building side, early on we want to work on stepping back as a team and doing a post-mortem. And one of the most popular articles at my website is a thing called a Post-Mortem Analysis, where you come up with, you apply a set of questions to a project that's been troubled or difficult to work on, or maybe is underway and difficult to work on, and you pretend it's like half over, and you work your way through these questions and ask yourself, how are we doing on these various parameters, these various attributes of good quality project management and project evolution, and how can we fix things? So we do that team building exercise called a post-mortem, where we work together and come up with a list of lessons learned and recommendations for improvement. Following that, we get back into some detailed hands-on planning. Now, something I care about deeply is a little thing I call the high-resolution project plan. The idea here is you can't manage what you can't see. Okay, so you need high-res, crispy, zillions of pixels. Everyone's got to understand what the project vision is, what the project steps are that we're going through to create this project, and how it's going to evolve. And they have to share that. And it just doesn't come down from on high. What it does, it comes from the collaborative efforts of the team, which is where we get at these team planning. So we use very, very specific and detailed and practical tools, nuts and bolts stuff, to come up with some of the artifacts, such as a project charter, a work breakdown structure, a project schedule, a list of resources required, durations that are going to be spent in certain project activities based on the deliverables, roles and responsibilities, tables and checklists, things like this that are little tools that you can use that are very, very powerful to keep the project rolling. But the cool thing is here, you're not just building those off in a corner someplace because somebody tapped you on the head and said you're project manager. In the Inspired Project Teams workshop, your whole team is there collaboratively creating them. So the items that appear on your bulleted list and in your schedules and the job assignments are something that's been argued over and people own. Okay? So you all own that schedule and you all own that set of deliverables and that high-res project plan. Then we go back and look at, if we knew then, now that we've finished some of these activities, and the way this works is in your class, we break you up into small groups. You bring with you a real project concept. I mean, what's the point of doing some artificial case study, churning up 2 days or 3 days, however much time we spend together, and then you go back to work and are faced with a real project. Bring the real project with you. That's the idea. Bring the pieces of the real project puzzle with you, and we'll work it in the class as a team in a safe zone. So that's how we make those plans. My greatest joy is when people leave these workshops with with notes and flip chart pages and yellow stickies and all kinds of things with them, jealously guarding them because they created them and they're taking them back to work and going to put them right to work to manage the project they're working on. So bring real ideas. We come up with high-res project plans as a team for describing the way deliverables move, the orchestration, and so forth of these projects as they're evolving. Then we go step back into, if we knew then what we know now, having gone through these exercises, how would we modify that post-mortem? We kind of review the lessons learned and recommendations for improvement and say, you know, now that I know, maybe we should have plugged in the work breakdown structure a little differently, and we could have added some elements to our project charter, that sort of thing. Okay? After that, we jump back in and take a look at some tools that go beyond planning, that have to do with keeping the project moving and supporting all key 20 actions. We have 20 key project management actions and results, which were derived, by the way, from my distilling PMBOK, the project management body of knowledge. I derived my 20 key actions from that by squeezing down the essential actions and results. I'm very focused on actions and results, not theory. Not grad school theory. You know, you want to take 2 years and study project management, that's fine. But we're just looking at what actions should a project manager take to achieve top quality professional project manager results. And that's what's in the Keeping Things Moving exercises, where we go through looking at all the 20 key actions and results. Then we go back to stepping back from all of the tools. Now, the project manager's partner, the text for the workshop, has in it 57 tools. These are checklists, worksheets, and all that. And before you say, oh my God, this is burdensome, it's going to crush my team, no. This is a smorgasbord of stuff from which you can choose. You decide, do I want to use this tool in my project management work? Does it make sense around here? Or how can I modify it? How can I customize it? Or better yet, how can I take that tool that we already have in play around here and through the inspiration of the tool and the generic tool, how can we meld those together and come up with something even better that's never existed? So I get a kick out of having my tools incorporated, modified, and that's why you get them all on a Word disk that comes with the project manager's partner. Okay, so in the next team building exercise, then we step back and we look at this collection of tools that's around, and we ask, how can we modify our project management tools and procedures to come up with something we can live with that's going to work for us and bring about more smooth running, effective teams. So finally, we end with some more philosophical, broader issues, some strategies for more inspired project teams. And these strategies for more inspired project teams are drawn from the topics that come from the Inspired Project Teams blog. Will be the exercises that follow, the team challenges that I created to apply them. And what that means then is you then plug this in with your team in your small group exercises and figure out how we can clean things up. So I think I've shown you here that the Inspired Project Teams workshop is a lot of very specific skills with a lot of team building. But the way we get to team building is practical, in that we reach out and do stuff together as a team, see how we get in each other's way and stumble around while we're doing this small group work, and then we clean that up.